Hollywood screen presenting Lift. At the beginning of the story, we are shown Venice, where an auction of very valuable items is taking place. Because of this, wealthy people are sitting here wearing masks. And this is where we see the main character of the story, whose name is Cyrus. He is incredibly smart and has already meticulously planned a heist with his team. Being a mastermind, he has successfully carried out many thefts before, demonstrating his exceptional skills and strategic thinking. The live auction video is now also being broadcast in London. Half of the buyers are sitting in Venice, while the other half are in London. Here we are introduced to Cyrus's team with him at the top. Then there is a pilot girl, a lockmaster who can easily break any kind of difficult locks. Besides them, there is a skilled hacker, a talented engineer, and an older man who serves as their helpful assistant. He assists them in their various thefts and is currently present at the auction alongside Cyrus. There are cameras everywhere, monitored by the police and the most senior police officer, named Abby. She had met Cyrus a long time ago, where they became friends. But when Abby found out just how big of a thief he was, she meticulously planned to catch Cyrus while he was on a mission. However, he was very smart, so Cyrus escaped. But this time, Abby is fully prepared with her team. That means as soon as Cyrus attempts the theft, they will catch him red-handed. After this, we see that the auction has now started. First, a very expensive painting is brought in with a bid of 1 crore, but in the end, it sells for 2 crores. However, Cyrus and his team, who had already been planning to steal that painting, managed to steal it before it even reaches the customer. At the same time, a seed worth 20 million is also given in the black market. Then comes the turn of the most special item, which is an amazing creation. The owner has put a lot of effort into creating this, which is called an NFT. Since the creator did not want to reveal their identity, they wore a mask. It is very significant. Now, this creation has about 200 cameras installed in it, which record videos and edit them very well. The auction for this begins, and the prices keep rising. But then the hacker in Cyrus's team does her job. She presses a button and says, left. As soon as this happens, all the lights go out and explosions start happening. This causes chaos everywhere. While the wealthy people are thinking of escaping, Cyrus does his job. Even though he did not place the bid of 2 crore 50 lakh himself, he now approaches the creator of the NFT and tells him to come to his hideout. The ship will be brought to the same place as the NFT, and we give you the money there too. Now Abby, who is watching everything from above, decides to go after Cyrus herself and also sends her team. But as Cyrus and his team are trying to escape, Abby and her team follow closely behind. They keep running until they get into a speedboat, where they manage to evade the police and reach the middle of the sea. They set up barriers, allowing the police to reach behind them, but even then, these people escaped. They reach their hideout and the ship, where they have a big party after the NFT transaction. Meanwhile, Abby, who is still investigating, is closely watching the videos of the people who came to the auction. Her gaze shifts towards Cyrus and the helper, who is still there. So, they manage to reach him and successfully capture him. It turns out that when these thieves stole the NFT, its value significantly increased in the black market. To activate the NFT, they needed its original owner, which is why they decided to abduct the creator. They give him half the profit. This benefits both parties. Meanwhile, Cyrus's helper sat with Abby, giving confusing and nonsensical answers to all the questions. Abby says, "I will put you in jail and expose your truth to everyone. It would be better if you tell us everything about your team right now." To which the helper replies, "My team is currently in London at the moment. If you want to catch them, you will have to go there with me." So, Abby decides to take her entire team to the London Police Department. When they arrive, she meets another officer there. "I tell Josh, that I have secretly learned that the biggest mafia organization, named Loss, has recently manipulated the market shares, causing prices to fluctuate significantly and resulting in huge profits for him. However, this profit did not cause market or price fluctuations, but led to disruptions in various aspects of the city. In fact, Los has released the dam water into the entire city, causing a flood. This has resulted in homes being submerged, lives being lost, and now Los is about to do the same with another city, which includes the significant mafia group 771. They plan to execute this within the next 2 months. Los will first make a payment to that mafia, after which they will allow the dam barriers to be removed, causing a flood and destruction in that city as well. But the payment Los will make is not money but gold. Not just 1 or 2 kilos, but a full 10 tons. At this point, I need to break this deal and stop the payment, and I could really use your help with this. Abby asks, how can I help with this situation? To which the officer replies, we need someone who can think like a thief in order to catch the thieves. It's clear that we need a mastermind thief for this job. And who is that? You know very well, don't you? Abby understood that here the officer was talking about Cyrus. To which Abby immediately responds, no, sir. What you're thinking is not possible. You want me to go to Cyrus and ask for his help and he'll be ready to help us. This is impossible. जिस पर ऑफिसर कहता है कि अगर साइरस और उसकी टीम ऐसा करने के लिए ना माने तो ना जाने कितने मासूम लोगों की जानें चली जाएंगी. You have to convince him somehow so we can stop the corpse. Hearing this, Abby agrees and immediately goes to Cyrus. Here, they start blaming each other, saying, you betrayed me, I didn't betray you. But in the end, after finishing the argument, Cyrus asks the reason for her visit. Abby then says to him, you have to steal something for me. And she goes on to explain everything that the officer had told her in detail. She says, you have to steal all that gold. After that, Cyrus tells his team about the whole plan, and they are shocked. Cyrus says, I understand that this job is very difficult, but it's also extremely necessary because if they succeed in their plan, the entire city will be flooded, and many innocent lives will be lost. But this mission was going to be very difficult because they had to steal the gold from a plane, and there were Larg's goons on the plane. So Cyrus and his team begin working on the details of how they will execute this mission. The hacker suggests that creating a plane identical to the original will make the theft easier. But the question is, where will we get such a plane? Cyrus says, I met a very wealthy girl at the auction house who deals in airplanes. He or she has a plane that is somewhat similar to what we need, and we can modify it to make it more like that. So maybe she'll give us the plane. So now everyone goes to the plane dealer, who then shows them a luxurious and elegant plane. It was quite beautiful, but it was forbidden to fly it because it had many LED glasses installed and it made a lot of noise. So the dealer refuses to give his plane. But right now she tells him, I'm a police officer and keeping such a plane is illegal anyway. If you don't give it to us, you'll have to face jail time. In the end, he agrees. Now they had the plane, but the next big problem was how to manipulate the radar. For that, they needed to create a PSI that would generate signals such that two planes would be flying in the air, but the signal would show only one. However, there was a small problem. It means when they position the two planes one above the other, it will be brief. These two planes will appear on the radar, which people at headquarters will see. So, they need to place one of their trusted men there. She still mentions that she knows an officer at the airport who is her friend. He will be sitting there, so he will do our job. That's why all this. Now they meet the officer who is handicapped and in a wheelchair. They present their case to him, but he refuses to do it. He says, sorry, I won't do this job because it involves theft, And that too for the biggest mafia in the city, Nas. No, absolutely not. But then Cyrus says, I will give you $1 million for this job, to which the officer agrees. That's why the whole team gets to work and they start modifying this plane where a PSI machine is made which will tamper with the signals, the size of which seem very large, almost like a bomb. So Abby tells the hacker to make several small parts of this PSI machine, which will be given to each member so that they can place it in different parts of the plane. This way, the work will be done easily, to which the hacker agrees, and after a lot of hard work, she makes different parts of the PSI machine. After that, their final day arrives, where everyone gets ready according to their plan. They had half the tickets for business class and half for economy class, so that they can spread throughout the plane, where they find out that the last 2 goons are in business class and 3 goons are in economy class, while the remaining 10 people are with the gold below. Now the whole team is ready to execute their theft. They have hacked all the cameras so that they can keep an eye on everything, while the lockmaster has already placed his part of the PSI machine in the bathroom. One of their partners got scared, so he didn't come on this mission. So she still does his part of the work. She heads to the business class bathroom and begins placing the second PSI machine there. But due to a sudden jolt, the machine slips from her hands and falls to the floor, breaking into pieces. It breaks into many pieces, which makes Abby very worried because she has to somehow put those broken pieces together and get the machine working again. She needs to place that part there. But now the goons wanted to come to the washroom, and if they saw this, their plan would be ruined. They would shoot and kill everyone, but Cyrus arrives just in time, and together they connect the machine and set it up there. Meanwhile, the pilot smartly brings her plane under the big plane and waits for the PSI to activate so that both planes give the same signal on the radar. So now, only 2 planes' signals were appearing on the headquarters radar, seeing which the airport officer's colleague says, we should report this to the higher-ups. The officer, who is now Abika's partner, responds that it might be a minor glitch that will be fixed in 2 to 3 minutes. He starts to distract him with his words. Meanwhile, as soon as the PSI is activated, the pilot connects her plane to the other plane and signals start coming in. And only 1 plane starts showing on the radar, at which point the officer shows his partner and says, see, I told you it was a glitch and it will be fixed soon. Now, the lockmaster reaches the lower area where the gold vault is located. He attaches his high-tech machine to the vault and tries to break its lock. But in the meantime, the goons start getting suspicious, so they try to reach their gold. Now, Cyrus also gets wind of this, so he tries to stop them, which leads to a fight between all the thieves and the goons. A fierce fight ensues, that too in a moving plane. Due to the jolt, the pilot feels that something is wrong with the plane, so he immediately informs the headquarters. Then AB tells his fellow officer that the weather is bad, so you will have to land the plane at the nearest airport. Following his advice, the pilot starts landing the plane. But this place is small for landing the plane, which makes it very difficult for the pilot, but somehow he manages to land the plane at that small airport. So now, Cyrus's pilot partner also lands the plane there. But even the corpse finds out that our plane has been hijacked. Instead of landing where it was supposed to, it landed somewhere else. That's precisely why Loss instructs his partners to either eliminate anyone who is obstructing his gold from reaching him or to bring those individuals directly to him. This way, my sleep will come to me. Meanwhile, he apologizes to the lockmaster Cyrus, saying, please forgive me. I wasn't able to break the lock and steal the gold quickly enough. Now this gold will fall into the hands of the goons and their mafia boss, and they will make their dangerous deal. They have no other option, so they go along with the goons' timing. They start heading towards the corpse using the plane. She is taking them for piloting. Meanwhile, the mafia comes near the end. She wanted the deal to happen quickly so a flood would hit the city, causing market shares to fluctuate and benefit both of them. But the mafia also discovers that the plane carrying their gold has been hijacked by unknown assailants. But Lash explains to her that his goons have taken control of the situation. You will get the goods. Just finalize the deal today by any means. Meanwhile, the fight is still going on in the plane, causing all parts of the PSI to be destroyed. As a result, both planes start appearing on the headquarters radar. Then the government traces the plane and sends its fighter jets behind the plane and orders them to attack. But here, Cyrus and the pilot use their brains and write on the plane upside down that there are people inside, so they shouldn't be attacked. So for now, the fighter jet doesn't attack them, but starts following them so that when the plane lands, the police can come and ensure everyone's safety or handle the situation. After this, the plane lands in the grounds of Lars's mansion, which destroys his home's grounds. And not only that, but they also break through his home's security wall and enter inside. And as soon as this happens, all the gold falls down. Seeing this, the mafia tells the corpse that now she will take all the gold and their deal is cancelled. Saying this, she starts to leave. But Lars, who is now angry, shoots and kills her. Just then, the police arrive, who were following them, and surround them from all sides. As the police start to catch Lars, he says that this is his own house, and these are all thieves who came to make a deal with the mafia woman. The real culprits are these people. They killed the mafia woman. So please evict them and vacate my house as soon as possible. But here, Cyrus uses his brain and shows the police through the plane's LED glass and NFT creation recordings that the real culprit is Lars. She made the gold deal with the mafia woman and planned to destroy the city. So the police arrest Lars. Officer Abby and Lyndon were also part of this mission, whose goal was to stop this deal. So because they succeeded, the police take all the gold with them. It means that even after facing such difficult situations, these thieves end up with nothing, yet they still become part of the ABC Cyrus team. Here, when Abby was a child, she really liked a painting, which Cyrus now thinks of gifting her so that she gets impressed and they can reunite. And now, the biggest revelation comes out. Actually, the lockmaster had already broken into the vault and taken all the gold out. Instead of real gold, fake gold was placed there, and it was made to look like he couldn't break the vault. In other words, the gold that the police managed to seize was actually fake, while the real gold had already vanished into thin air. And they had already sent it to their hideout. Meaning, these thieves once again managed to pull off such a big gold heist because of their mastermind. After this, they all go to retrieve their gold, where they embrace each other warmly. Their happiness knows no bounds. They are ready for a new journey and adventure in their lives, with which this story ends here. So friends, I hope you liked the story of the lift. That's all for today's video, but don't worry, we will definitely meet again soon with another new and interesting story to share with you. But as always, thank you until then.